rhetoric was pretty fiery towards Iran, which we'll get to in just a second, although much less so towards the DPRK, as predicted following the Singapore summit. Look, an extraordinary thing happened here in New York, which I can't ever remember happening before. President Trump missed his slot. He was away at Trump Tower, which is 10 city blocks away, and he simply wasn't here at the UN when his time came up to speak. So the person representing Ecuador stood up to speak in his stead. And because he was late, President Trump did something that world leaders almost never do. He gave an impromptu press conference at the escalator stairs just before coming up into the General Assembly. And at that point, he said Iran has no choice but to change. He said he's looking forward to a good relationship going forward with President Rouhani, but he said it won't happen now. So that was fairly cordial, and it follows on from a tweet this morning in which the president talked about not meeting President Rouhani at this General Assembly, but saying in the tweet that he's absolutely sure he's a lovely man. Well, later in the speech, once it got going a few minutes ago, the president really did have some seriously harsh words for Iran and the Iranian leadership.
We ask all nations to isolate Iran's regime as long as its aggression continues, and we ask all nations to support Iran's people as they struggle to reclaim their religious and righteous destiny.
A very different tone here regarding the Korean Peninsula in every respect, particularly regarding the DPRK. President Trump said that the specter of conflict has been lifted and there is a bold new push for peace going on. And he thanked lots of world players for their help in calming the situation on the Korean Peninsula, not least of all President Moon from the ROK, and also thanking publicly President Xi as well.
The missiles and rockets are no longer flying in every direction. Nuclear testing has stopped. Some military facilities are already being dismantled. Our hostages have been released, and as promised, the remains of our fallen heroes are being returned home to lay at rest in American soil. I would like to thank Chairman Kim for his courage and for the steps he has taken, though much work remains to be done. The sanctions will stay in place until denuclearization occurs.
Is a lot softer in tone, certainly regarding the DPRK. It is still very much an America First speech.